HTTV, in association with Absolute Warehouse Services, delighted to be joined by Jan Siewert on Sunday morning. Jan, thanks for taking the time to join us this morning. We're at the end of what's been a really productive week in Austria now.
Yes.
When you started to plan this week, what things did you want out of it, and have you achieved everything that you wanted out of this week?
First of all, I would say that it's massive to reinforce the team. It means have a good team understanding for each other. So every player has a good communication within the whole squad. I think it was massively important for me. I got it out with a lot of individual meetings, which we did. And of course, the second part was having good matches who really challenged us. And then the training work on the pitch, which was very great, I would say. I really enjoyed working each day with the lads, and all the tactical topics we wanted to put in, and as well the endurance topics were well achieved. So it's been a good week, to be fair.
It's a funny one. It feels to me like the time you've been at Huddersfield Town it feels like a long time now already. And I mean, it was a really difficult season, as we know, last season. But we mustn't forget, this is the first pre-season you've had as head coach of Huddersfield Town, and it's a vital period, isn't it? To, not just on the pitch, but like you said, to get to know the players that are under your charge. It's probably the most time you've ever spent with them in one period.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for me, it was really important to get to know them without pressure, because last year when I came, there was directly pressure, and we tried everything to avoid relegation. So it's normal that players behave differently then. For me, it was really important to have them here, individual, and we had really time to talk. And I got in their head, and they got in my head, because obviously it's needed that the manager and the player have the same understanding from what they want to do and what they want to achieve.
Have you learned anything that surprised you about the players? I'm not expecting you to go into specifics, but has there been things that you never knew that you've kind of learned about the players this week, and it's changed your perception?
Yeah, I would say so. All of them have been very honest, and all of them have been very open to the things which we were doing, and probably it came back in the matches. So we all knew that we wanted to get back the winning feeling. And I think probably the best thing to do it is winning matches. So the commitment of what we want to do is totally there. And as I said, I really enjoyed then working with them in each second of the training.
And you talk about the matches in a second, but training obviously is the name of the game out here. How good has it been to have pretty much every one of the 26 players that you have here now available for every training session? Obviously Colin got the bang to the head, Juninho's had a very small back problem at the end of the week, but you've pretty much had every player out on the grass, and that's vitally important as well.
Yes, and first of all I could say that I have to thank my staff, not just the medical stuff. It's everything, because everything is, for me, football part of it. The staff worked really well to help me to have healthy players, and the organisation in the training camp was great. So I think the load which we put in was well done, and I think that every player had a feeling now that he's getting, of course, tired, but knows that this will help him in the season to be fit.
I've talked to a lot of head coaches during my time at the club, and you hear it all over football. In pre-season, the results aren't important. It's about applying what you've learned in training in a game situation. But I feel like, and certainly from the way you've talked, it's different for us this year, because we were fortunate enough to have that winning feeling at the back end of last season. So to get in your points now, 7 points from a possible 9 after being out here, has been important for the squad, hasn't it?
Yeah, 7 points away, to be fair. We didn't know the pitches. Maybe just on one game we knew the pitch because it was ours from the training ground. But for me it was much more important to tell the players that first of all the fight comes first, and fight comes first means for me it's the commitment to defend. I think we conceded a lot of goals last year, so I thought that it would be a big topic in the pre-season. So the first 2 weeks were probably more about, of course, the endurance side, but as well the tactical side of defending. And when you defend aggressively, you attack aggressively. So this is the link now. In the next few weeks I'm going to focus the offensive part of it, and the tactical understanding on the pitch offensively for the players.
We've played 2 good teams as well. We shouldn't put that to one side, particularly HSV on Saturday. They're about a week ahead of us in terms of their preparation because of when the Bundesliga 2 starts. So to kind of see what you've worked on them this week in training, the defensive side applied so well against an opponent that is fancied to win that division next year. It must have been fantastic for you to see.
Yeah, I was very pleased with it, to be fair, and I think for me it's an important thing that the players understood that the reason why I played these tough matches at the beginning was we will face difficult games in the championship, and the intensity brought me the possibility to have a look at each player in detail, because I saw the ones who really committed to fight against the ball, who really want to defend and keep the clean sheet, and it made me proud. But I don't know what the term really is in English, but I don't how do you say it? Exaggerate or over exaggerated. So yeah.
Still lots of work to do. The wins surely contributed to this, but even from Sunday when we landed last Sunday, I feel like the atmosphere around the place has been great as well. We've had lots of fans watching our videos on HTTV who've been commenting on the fact that the players are smiling again. And as much as the results and everything else is important, that's so important, isn't it? It's like any job. You've got to come to your work and enjoy what you do.
Yeah, it's about positive energy, and I think everybody at the end of the season realized what I tried to do here, and the fans were a massive part of it. And I think, first of all, when we stopped the mentality of losing in the last 2 games in the Premier League, it directly went over in the pre-season, and I keep on going with that, because I think if we're all positive, and if we all give us time in what we're doing, and if we all have the trust in what we're doing, the players will be trusted on the pitch. So then the results will come, and I'm working on it and enjoying to do it.
And other people who've enjoyed their week in Austria, the Huddersfield town fans. I mean, we've seen them around the town of Kirchberg. We've seen them at every single game as well. I mean, it's a fair distance to travel for the town fans who come out here, but I think they've enjoyed the week as well, haven't they?
Definitely, and I think I got to know all of them, especially when we had a beer together, which was great, to be fair. I really enjoyed it, having a beer with them, and just to see how their point of view was, because for me they are, as I always said, an important part of the club, and having them here made us proud. And if you then go back home with 7 points in your pocket, so I think they are all pleased and went back with a smiling face.
100%. We're back to England today.
Yes.
Next up, game-wise, is Rochdale on Wednesday. You've touched on this already with the attacking side of things, but what is the next step for you now in terms of the pre-season preparations?
The next step is developing the game with the ball. Means in the last third, in transition offensively, because the other parts work quite well. So, and now we have, of course, to analyze the games in total once more and then go through the details. But first of all, for me, it's important that there's a chemistry between the players which work offensively together. So, do you know when the fullback is overlapping? Do you know when the winger comes inside? And this is just made possible by having lots of games. So we have 4 more games to go, and then on the 5th of August, I'm really looking forward to play Derby.
As someone who isn't a football coach, I'm interested, why do you do it that way around? Why is it a case that defence always comes first when you're in pre-season and then attack? It's easier to do that, or is it just the way you decided to work? Yeah,
it's the way I decided to work, because I know when you want to build a house, you first do the fundament and not the roof. And the fundament is always the clean sheet. So it means for me, if you have a clean sheet, you have already 1 point. If you score just once, then you have 3 points. Of course, honestly, you know my attacking football, I'd like to enjoy having more goals, but I think it's important to work on this. It's a trust first to be defensively stable, and from there on we go.
Excellent. Yeah, well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you at Rochdale on Wednesday.
Yeah, thank you.